Welcome. We're here in the third segment, which we're going over chapter 3 in Dr. Brooks' masterpiece, The Institution of Patriotism. And in chapter 3, as we told you at the ending of, we previewed you at the end of chapter 2, that it's why should I be patriotic? Or why should you be patriotic? And you open up your chapter by saying, in the entire course of human evolution, it has been proven over and over again that one person can make a difference. The power of convincing people to think in the same way as we do is the beginning of the art of unification. When unification is attained, everything is possible to achieve. Can you break this up for me?
That doesn't sound like it has anything to do with being a patriot.
Yeah, you're going deep. You're going deep back. Okay, take us back.
I could have had a senior moment, Dr. Harold,
okay.
but I don't believe so.
Okay.
Thank you for indulging me. Listen, what we learned, we talked in chapter 2, what we learned is that if we do not know our history, we're destined to repeat it. We have to have life lessons learned. We have to have something called lessons learned. And so I looked at this thing and said, what have we been doing over centuries? And it's been proven time and time and time again that leaders, good and bad, one person can affect the entire course of human events. We've talked about those, whether they're President Kennedy from the United States, Winston Churchill from the UK, Joseph Stalin from Russia, Mahatma Gandhi from India, Nelson Mandela, one of my personal favorites. They can affect the course of human events. But also, they did the unification concept. They got the largest segment, or the majority segment of the people group to think the way they did.
Yeah.
To act the way they did, to believe the way they did. I'm not talking about brainwashing. I'm talking about buying into a true concept of what they believe. Well, what does that have to do with being patriotic? Everything.
Wow.
Because that's what patriotic is. I'm reminded of a story I've read many, many times. It's a story of a people group, and they decided that they wanted to build a tower all the way to heaven.
Oh, okay.
And they're there. You may have heard the story.
Yeah.
And they're there, and they start building. And at this time, the earth was one language.
Yes.
Everybody understood the same language.
We'll say English.
I'm not sure, but I don't think so. It was probably Hebrew. And they started to build this tower. And they were building. And they had goals. And they had objectives. And they built. And it got higher and higher and higher. And the Creator said, you know, these guys just might pull this off. We must go down and confound their language, one version says. That means I'm going to make them so they don't understand one another.
Okay.
And he did. And that's where languages came from.
Yes.
That's why some people speak Swahili, some people speak English, some people speak Portuguese, some people speak Spanish, some people speak French, and on and on and on. And even within those groups, in Chinese, there's many different dialects, even within that.
Yes.
And they found each other out that spoke the language that they could understand. And then the Creator said, I will scatter them to the othermost parts of the earth. That's how we got to where we are. The land masses were one part. They were all together. Look at your atlas. Look at your, and try to squeeze it. You'll find this could fit together as, quite neatly as a puzzle. But now, we have oceans in between. Patriotism, being patriotic, is being of one mind, one accord, not being a parrot, not being a robot, but understanding that we have a common goal, a common mission. When you send soldiers, when you send soldiers out to fight, they have one mission: to seek and destroy the enemy. And nothing shall deter them from that. When you send the postman out to deliver mail, is one mission: to get that package delivered to your doorstep. When you send the grocery guy out, he wants to make sure you're fed, not only for the day, but for the week or a month or whatever your shopping interval is. When we become patriotic, we want our nation to be preserved. We want our home, our homeland to survive. And we are on one accord, not a parrot, not a robot, but we have the same mission. Dr. Harold and I have the same mission. Dr. Harold's mission, if I may be so presumptuous, is to get the word out in different formats of multimedia, of things that can help you grow, be prosperous, and do good. I have the same mission, but we do it in different ways. I may write, and he may have audio and video and all kinds of YouTube things, but it's the same mission. It doesn't mean we have to do it the same way to accomplish the goal. Would it not be a sad state of affairs, Dr. Harold, if you and I were exactly alike? We walked alike, we talked alike, we ate alike, we dressed alike. How boring. No. This piece of dirt called Earth, with its 3 billion people, or whatever the number happens to be, has those number of individuals. And my fingerprint is different than yours. My DNA is different than yours. But we all have the same thought. What's global warming? Dr. Bruce, what are you saying? What's that got to do with patriotism? Everything. Protection. You see, this takes on a whole new life. It's an institution. It's a way of life. It's like your personal trainer says to you, if you want to lose weight and maintain that weight loss, you must change the way you eat. You must change the way you exercise. In other words, you must change your life. It's now a new lifestyle. Patriotism is going to require us to get a new lifestyle, a new mental concept of who we are, whose we are, where we are, and how we are. So that's what knowing our differences and knowing what the concept is has to do with being patriotic. That if we are unified, if we are unified, anything is possible.
An example you use here is Alexander the Great.
Conquered the entire known world at that time because of unification. They would follow him to the ends of the earth. A great example. His name was Alexander. When he did what he did, he became Alexander the Great. And so can you. You can be John the Great, Susie the Great, Marcia the Great, Consuela the Great, Voldemar the Great. For it has no nationality. It has no pretense. Because everyone has greatness in them. Will you allow the greatness to come out of you?
You also cover Adolf Hitler.
You have to cover the good with the bad. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, Adolf Hitler is reported to to have Jewish blood inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
So much so he hated it because he wanted to be Aryan 100%, and he could never be because one drop makes you one drop. But he came up with a purist concept, a purist race, and he got other people to buy into that.
Yeah.
And they were unified around that, so much so World War II was a result of that. Many, many lives were lost. One person, good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
can make a difference.
Wow.
That's just but one example. If we do not know our history, we're destined to repeat it. I expose the good and the bad
Yeah.
for everyone, for you to make your own decision about. I'm not going to tell you how to think. I will never tell you what to do. All I will do is give you the tools so that you can, after your own examination, after your own deliberation, make up your mind on what it is best for you, your family, your tribe, your community, your country, the world.